Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, anything I say is alleged and in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Some meat and potatoes, some housekeeping items. It is free to follow me. Free to follow me on this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to follow me on my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. There is new content over there. Follow me on the Tickety Talk at Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Instagram. On the Instagram is at Anonymous Reality Tea. Free to share everywhere. Free to like the video so it gets out to the algorithm. Free to share with your family, your friends, and your foes, and coming or going, hit the like button. So today we got to talk Real Housewives of Potomac. We got to talk Miss Monique Samuels, y'all, because she was on Way Up. I feel blessed. She was on Way Up with Angela Yee, y'all, and talking about her return to Real Housewives of Potomac and all of the things, y'all, and talking about where she's at, because as you all know, previously when she was on Potomac, she was a married woman, and now she obviously is single. She obviously now is divorced, right? And so, none of the less, you guys, about a week or so ago, I did a video of a leaked video that we did not know where it came from, of Monique Samuels and her former co-host when she was working at the radio station in DC and the DMV and the whole nine, Jason WEEMS, right? And there were two videos. There was one where Jason was in the passenger side of, Monique's ride and was laying down or whatever in the cut. Then there was another video. It looked like they might have been zip lining or some other stuff, or doing some type of outdoors activity, y'all. And Jason is licking all over Monique's neck. And it looked very affectionado and intimate and all of the things. And so I had said in that video, I said, due to the look of Monique's hair, due to the look of Monique's, when she started, transitioning to dreads and all those things, I said, I don't think this is recent. But what happened was this footage mysteriously came out after Monique talked about Chris on the previous episode of Real Housewives of Potomac, basically saying, look at here, I have freed myself of over 300 pounds of a man that I was sick of. And that he was, he treated me like I was just, some type of sex kitten. He objectified me. He just wanted me to just be just this housewife, didn't want me to be my own person. And we would get into it a lot and all of this and all of that. And then mysteriously, these videos drop. And I'm like, that doesn't seem like Monique's style, right? Monique's style is not going to spray her tea like that, right? She'll come out her own way, but she's not going to do this. But I find it very interesting that the same show that was trying to push Monique and the trainer, which they're still resurrecting here in 2025, that she's allegedly was with a trainer in the past, and now y'all put this out there about her and allegedly Jason WEEMS, which now gives credence to perhaps maybe this relationship or whatever it was got out of hand at the radio station, and that could be ultimately the reason why Monique quote unquote resigned, right? But nonetheless, we have the audio of Monique talking about what she thinks happened and who she thinks leaked the video. So let's take a watch and listen.
Jason and I were like great friends. Like we never spent any time outside the studio, nothing like that. As I was going through the whole divorce process, the separation, everything like that, he was giving me this advice that I was like, you have to have been through something to be able to give me this type of advice. We started to have like an amazing friendship outside of work. And I started to learn some things about what he was going through. Mm-hmm. So we connected on that level, him being separated, living in the same house, but people not knowing because obviously he's not, out there like that in reality TV space. Mine was more public. Right. And it was a friendship that was genuinely a friendship that turned very emotionally connected, and then it turned romantic. Mm-hmm. And the reason this video is out there right now is because my ex-husband actually leaked it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so that's tea. Like, legit, he has been showing this video to everybody. And the bigger question is, how did he get it?
So off the cloud.
The cloud?
No, he actually got it from a former friend of mine.
Child, who are these alleged friends of Monique's? Or is it the same friend that was trying to push the trainer rumor onto the show and meet with different cast members of Real Housewives of Potomac behind Monique's back? Because with friends like these, who needs enemies, you guys? Who needs enemies? It's giving that, y'all were looking for something to try to sabotage Monique in any way possible, but why does this matter now? Are you trying to imply or infer that whatever Monique and Jason Weems had at the time, that it was somehow overlapping with Monique's marriage? Because according to Monique, she's alleging this is when she was going through her divorce. But what is new information is allegedly Jason Weems was quote unquote separated. But again, I can't stress enough to y'all, I do not care if people tell y'all that they are separated, that they are sleeping on the couch at their spouse's house that they share in the marital home. I don't care if they tell you that they are separated and they have their quote unquote own apartment, but they're still at the marital home because there are kids involved and everything else. I can't stress enough to y'all, until the divorce is finalized, that person is still married. That is still a married person, and at any point in time, they can call off the separation, they can call off the divorce, they can get back together, the whole nine, right? Because even Monique, there was divorce rumors put out there. Remember that? And even people ran with the story. And remember, Monique did a retraction and did a video. It was her and Chris Samuels basically saying, look at here, we good, we Gucci. Sometimes we don't sleep at the same place or whatever else, but we're not getting a divorce. And then eventually they got one. But at the time that it was reported, not so much, right? But the specific storyline of Monique and working at this radio station came out at Love and Marriage DC. So now it puts into question, what was the real reason that Monique left the show? Was this alleged friend trying to expose Monique and Jason Weems back then? And perhaps try to bring this on the show to be messy? And Monique got wind of it and decided to leave the show and everything else. And she was planning on, leaving her husband anyways, or was already in the process of divorcing Chris Samuels anyways, but did not want that extra heat on the show to make it look like Monique is cheating on her husband or Monique is stepping out on Chris Samuels or all of this and all of that. And then Chris Samuels on his Instagrammies is posting, he went to the Redskins game or whatever else, but is playing the Tupac song, All Eyes on Me. No. Listen, we only have one perspective in terms of Monique's because she's the one who has been on reality TV, right? And none of the less, everything that has been presented to us about Chris seems like a nice guy, seems like X, Y, and Z. But like Monique has said in previous interviews, he knows how to turn it on for the cameras and pretend to be, this amazing husband. We don't know what went on in that household, but we do know for a while, even dating back to when Monique was at the end of her tenure, the first go around with Real Housewives of Potomac, she was getting sick of that man. She was getting sick of that man and felt like all he wanted her for was to pump out as many kids as possible and do all of these things for him. But they weren't in sync as far as what they both wanted out of this marriage. And it got to a point, obviously, where Monique was done. Monique was done. Monique was sick of it. And you can see the difference in her face, in her demeanor, in her behavior when she is with Jason Weems. But it sounds like that potentially may not be no more. Because once she alleged that Jason Weems was separated, I saw what this was about. He connected with her, and she spilled the tea. They connected emotionally because they were both going through something. She finds out he's going through a separation as well. and they connect. It starts off as friends. You get emotionally involved. You get emotionally attached. Then things turn quote unquote romantic, quote unquote physical, right? But at some point, Monique is probably anticipating, okay, if you're separated, you're divorcing, right? You're done for good with the wife, right? Like this is over. It's todos, it's done, it's finito, it's final. Not so fast. Because like I told y'all, separated doesn't mean divorce. Sleeping on the couch, sleeping in the guest bedroom, you have an apartment that you're not always at. Y'all, it's given. Listen, I'm not happy in my marriage, but I'm not unhappy enough to leave for good, is what it's given. And let me see what I can have here on the side. Still have my cake, still eat it too. Let me complain about my wife and make you think that it is over with me and my wife and that we're quote unquote separated and all of this and all of that. And I could get what I need out of this too. You know what I'm saying? Only for you to never actually divorce your wife. No. Or at least we don't know if they've gotten a divorce, right? But it looks like from Monique, by the, timeline of these videos, that current state, her and Brandon WEEMS, it doesn't look like they're together unless they are doing an extraordinary job of keeping it on the low. But according to Monique and what she said at BravoCon, she said that she is single as a Pringle and she's focusing on raising her 3 kids. So, none of the less, but it's weird and it's vindictive and it's messy for allegedly Chris to show these videos to people and allegedly, a former friend of Monique's putting this out there and everything else. And then I thought it was weird that Chris Samuels was so quick to answer Charisse's phone call on Real Housewives of Potomac. Like answered on the second ring or something. Like that is weirdo behavior to me. Because why are you friends with people that do not like Monique? You know what I'm saying? Like that is weird too. And it's something with these housewives, these men, their husbands, their ex-husbands, how they'll get cool and sometimes date their co-stars or their former enemies or whatever else. Like all of that behavior is weird. You know what I'm saying? So none of the less, we will see if anything, comes to this. I presume this is going to be a topic at the reunion. They're going to want to get to the bottom of this since this has all come out now about the video and about, the status of Monique and this comedian and all this and all of that, because everybody, love or hate Monique, everybody is always fascinated by her. Everybody is always fascinated on what the tea is with her. So I am curious to see how this plays out, but I have a feeling that these housewives are going to go in and it's going to go down at the reunion to try to paint Monique as a homewrecker or paint her as a cheater, pumpkin eater and everything else, but nobody for sure knows the timeline of these events. But clearly, at least on Monique's end, according to Monique, she's saying for her, at this point, she was already, divorcing Chris. Like, it was already over with Chris. But Jason, on the other hand, was quote-unquote separated. But she doesn't say at least, at least according to this clip, that he ever actually got divorced. Or things are still, quote-unquote, separate with him and his wife. That information we're not privy to. So there's that. That is it. That's all. Es todos, es final, es finito. It's the end of the road. It's the end of the line for this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post a content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.